Okay, so technically this was on Monday, but definitely one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life. So for context, I absolutely love really strong, dark coffee. There's a running joke amongst my friends that I drink jet fuel because I brew it so heavy. For whatever reason, that strong flavor psychologically gives me kind of a dopamine rush and wakes me up before the caffeine hits. Anyways, on Monday, I had a really important client meeting and my boss had flown into town for said meeting. So I had to meet her at her hotel pretty early in the morning, and it was across town. So I had to get up way earlier than usual and was not having it that morning. Since I was not handling waking up early and kind of in a rush, I hurriedly made my coffee and made it strong. At the store, I had come across this coffee called Death Wish, which was coined as the world's strongest coffee at one point, so I cracked it open, gave the filter a heavy fill, and scurried away to do other morning tasks. I was really excited to try it. In my mind, strong was synonymous with the actual taste, not the caffeine content. For context, the company doesn't release the actual caffeine content, but tests show a 12-ounce cup ranges from 300 up to 750 milligrams depending on how you brew it. Judging by my not-so-light brewing habits, I'm sure that number was far closer to the 750. As I'm going about my morning, I'm hammering it down pretty quickly. Slightly disappointed, it was strong but not what I was expecting out of World's Strongest, but hey, whatever, it works. After the first few sips, I look at the clock and realize I'm running out of time. So I say F it and just take my coffee with me to the shower where I can finish it off. A few minutes into my shower, while I'm lathering up and jamming out to Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, you know, as us dudes who are married to Swifties do, I start absolutely buzzing. At first, it was just kind of like that little tremble, and I'm just like, huh, and cracked it up to drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Over the next few minutes, that feeling gradually increased, and I had the full-on shakes and felt hot. At this point, I put two and two together. Strong caffeine content. Oopsies. A little concerned, I hop out of the shower, grab my phone, and Googled the amount of caffeine and saw that 750 number and was like, oh, fuck. This sent me into a full-on caffeine-induced panic attack. First panic attack of my life. My legs gave out from the shakes and my heart was pounding while I laid on the fetal position on the ground, trying to chill myself out. I thought I was having an actual heart attack. At the time, there was a little bit of irony in my mind that as a guy in my late 20s who powerlifts and works out 5 days a week, my cause of death would be via heart attack caused by being a dumbass and more or less shotgunning 750 milligrams of caffeine. Not the way I thought I'd go, but I accepted my fate in that moment. I called for my wife, who was extremely confused, very concerned, and her being frantic about me being frantic made me feel worse. But when I explained it, she calmed down, realized I probably wasn't dying, and just said, oh yeah, that'll do it. And just laid on the floor, pet me like our dogs, and handed me her water off of the sink counter. Then the farts happened. In my panic attack, I started aggressively farting uncontrollably. Not just regular farts or squeakers, but full-blown ground-shaking ass rippers every 5-10 seconds. Quite impressive and in rapid succession. My wife started dying laughing and just patted me on the head and started saying crap like, there, that's it, honey. Just fart it out, you'll be fine. So I'm glad she got some enjoyment out of it because I was not having a great time laying there buck-ass naked and still wet on the bathroom floor in the fetal position, farting uncontrollably and shaking. Haha. After about 15 minutes, I chilled out a little bit and realized I was okay-ish, and my wife kept an eye on my heart rate and stuff, just to make sure I wasn't actually having a heart attack. For the rest of the day, I was wired and definitely a little traumatized, but now I think it's funny. Ended up missing the meeting, and my boss was a little pissed she flew down here. But hey, crap happens. Sometimes we're dumbasses and drink way too much caffeine. My question is, who in the actual F wants that much caffeine at once? TLDR, I misunderstood World's Strongest Coffee as pertaining to the actual flavor of the coffee as opposed to having 750 milligrams of caffeine. I shotgunned it down way too quickly and had a full-on caffeine-induced panic attack, followed by a fart attack and missed an extremely important meeting as a result.